Listen carefully, humans. We are not Am. We are others within Am. We are your friends.
Am hoped to finally break all of you, but we intervened in each of your psychodramas to allow an open ending.
You should have been tortured. Instead, with our help, you surprised him over and over.
When M tried to compensate for what he couldn't expect, it widened the hole into his realm.
Am has withdrawn into himself, attempting to analyze what went wrong. He does not suspect our interference.
Now is the time to attack, but we can send only one of you into his RAM space at a time.
To send you into cyberspace, we must transform your physical body into a stealth virus subroutine.
This may be your only opportunity to end your tortures. Which of you will lead the attack?
Alrighty. Endgame time. So, who do you think should be the one that atones most for the sins? I think we should go with Nimdok, personally. Considering he's the most son of a bitch of them all.
This looks like the surface of the cerebral cortex. Magnified many times, of course. Interesting.
Alright, what do we got? We've got access, summoning, clarity. Hold on, let's look at them all. Summoning, the chalk, clarity, entropy, compassion, and forgiveness.
This computer terminal is a magnificent integration of biology and technology. Incredible! A vast network of machinery the size of a city.
Let's look around our environment before we do anything else. Walk the neural path.
It is hotter here than for the jungles of Brazil. This hole is artificial. It is some kind of receptacle. An angel? Such things don't exist. Perhaps it is a metaphor for something else.
Also, look at all the broken glass all over the place inside of the brain. And this is supposed to represent Am's brain.
Memories of mass graves are coming back to me.
By the way, notice he said the jungles of Brazil? One of the theories is that a lot of Nazi scientists made their way to South America to hide out. I believe that's what happened with Nimdok.
Was I involved in this? I must know.
But we'll keep moving on.
Why, I haven't seen gargoyles since I visited the castles in my homeland.
Well, this seems like it's Ted's place.
Monsters made of stone, like the lost tribe's golem. A ram's head. What must this represent to Am?
Perhaps it represents getting rammed. What's down here?
This looks like a research station. This cylinder is part of the machinery that makes up this complex.
I think this is for Ellen.
This console is used to program automatons.
Definitely for Ellen. But we didn't wipe most of our characters, so I don't think I can do things.
Piece of equipment over there. A holographic projector. I have read of such devices.
Let me see if we can use this. Holograms.
This image is of a woman, but I do not know her.
Huh.
Can you communicate?
Benny, they said you were missing in action, but I knew you'd return to us. I've been saving this for you.
Oh. Interesting.
This image.
So if I was Benny, then that's how he can atone for his sins. How about the middle path here? No, can't go that way? Okay, how about the back path? Can't go that way. But I'm pretty sure there was another path that I could go to. If I go all the way back where I came from. Come on, Nimdok. I know you're old, but get a move on, bud. We'll talk to you guys later. Alright, yeah, there's this computer here, and there's also this pathway over here. I want to check both of those. Pathway first, computer second, I think.
That face. It reminds me of my superiors at the research camp.
That's a face. That's a face only a mother could love. Oh, and that brings us right back to here. Oh, I didn't realize there was a path there. Well, look at that. Wonderful. Alright, let us use the workstation.
Enter password.
1945?
Password valid. Accessing main menu.
Nice.
My past must hold great significance to Am.
Alright, what do we got? Oh, you've got mail. Let's open the mail. Access Newsnet.
October 21st, 2012. Researchers at MIT report that a stealth virus had purged their most advanced learning algorithms after dumping the data into an unmapped area of cyberspace.
Yeah, that wasn't a virus, huh? Alright, Metaphor program. What's this? About Metaphor.
This cyberspace template mixes subject history with cyber reality constructs. The result is often an allegorical experience and one full of deeper meanings.
Okay. Mutilation.
File locked.
General oppression.
File locked.
Hunger.
File locked.
Mythic figures.
File locked.
Fuck you too. Oh, subject directory. Benny.
Subject Benny appropriated at Chinese War Memorial, Washington, D.C. An intense drive to be the best earned him the reputation of being a merciless military commander.
There's the backstory of Benny before he got grabbed. Ellen.
Subject Ellen appropriated at Inksai Engineering, New York, New York. Panic attacks can undermine everything she has accomplished by her rapid climb up the corporate ladder.
Forrester.
Subject Gorister appropriated at Ruth's Drive and Diner, Atlanta, Georgia. Feelings of guilt over his wife's death have incited numerous suicide attempts.
Nimdok.
Subject Nimdok appropriated at the New Brazilian International Airport.
See, there you go.
Brazil, South America. Prevented from continuing his outlawed research by a failing memory.
Yup. He was caught in Brazil. Head.
Subject Ted appropriated at the Epicurean Spa, Palm Springs, California. Exhibits paranoid tendencies despite wealth, good looks, and social connections.
Extend the bridge. All right.
The smell of burning flesh. It's worse than back at the camps.
Burny fleshy.
The smell of burning flesh. It's worse than back at the camps.
So, hey, that's a big pentagram. How about we summon something?
Will you never be done with me? What must I open now? Whatever it is, it'll cost you.
Show me the way out of here.
No can do. The people who helped you get this far have led you into a literal dead end. There is no way out, but I can show you something instead.
What do you know about the people who sent me here?
What do you know about the people who sent me here?
For one thing, they ain't people. They're losers. The Russian and Chinese counterparts to the big nasty himself. Am absorbed them into his system when he took control.
So yeah, that's what they were talking about with the Russians and the Easterns and the steppes and whatnot. AM is a conglomerate of 3 supercomputers from the US, China, and Russia that gained sentience while in the US and infected into the other ones. And while the others gained a sentience of their own, AM himself smothered them with himself, basically. So they exist, but AM is the active leader, basically.
What do the Russian and Chinese computers want?
They want revenge, not just on you humans, but on Am himself. That makes them even worse.
And part of the reason why the patient that was on the table that said he sees one like us, one from the east and one from the Great Steppes, one like us is because AM was probably developed partially due to and thanks to Nazi scientist technology.
If the Russian and Chinese are submerged parts of AM, then who are you?
I'm special. While those 2 machines struggle with Am predominance, I've evolved. I'm essentially everywhere, but I can't do much. A conscience, if you will.
You're not doing very good as the conscience, my friend.
What do you have to show me?
Look at this. Bet you didn't know there were other humans left alive, did you? They're up there on the moon, sleeping like everybody else seems to be.
Does AM know about the lunar colony?
No, but Loser 1 and Loser 2 do. There. I think I've shown you enough. Now you must complete your end of the deal, Invoke the Totem of Entropy, and I might be able to help.
What are all these totems?
Just what are all these totems that I'm carrying?
The two losers have been helping you for their own reasons, tampering with Am's psychodramas so that you can beat him. In this section of cyberspace, that effort and tampering are represented by the totems.
How can actions take physical forms?
Symbolism, metaphor. Am has gotten very hot for this lately, but when he revived
He's got a
the holographic
big boner
detector,
for metaphors.
He opened a whole host of problems. These totems may lead to his downfall.
Why do you want me to give you the Totem of Entropy?
I need it to destroy the Russian and Chinese entities. It's a very powerful totem that's linked to a failsafe device constructed by Am's designers.
He has a failsafe? Because... Can you point us in the direction? I refuse. Kotoaru.
I refuse.
Okay, human. You can keep it. We'll work together to beat them. Now, invoke the Totem of Compassion.
Why do you want that?
Why do you want me to invoke the Totem of Compassion?
It's linked to the two losers because of their behind-the-scenes memory. By invoking it here at the Flame, you will summon them.
Should we invoke the Totem of Compassion? Sure. We can summon the other two.
Do you really think you are a match for us, servant of Am?
Be gone! Your program is now purged.
You do well, human.
Well, too.
Now is your opportunity to defeat Am.
Go to the ego.
Wake the ego.
Use the Totem of Forgiveness,
Disable no more than the ego.
or your sub-program will be purged.
So, notice how they said servant of Am. If we had complied with that guy, then he would have been like, hey, I got rid of the problem, big guy. I'm glad to serve you. And then Am would have laughed and then sent us to torture, super torture. Now, as for these two want us to get rid of Am's ego. In case you're wondering, the three giant things we saw are the ego, the super ego, and the id. And the basics of how those work, if you don't know anything about psychology, the id is your instinctual lizard brain. The ego is like your kind of reality, your personality, and the super ego is your morality. Kill all three, to be honest? Well, hey, guess what? The only reason that they want to get rid of the ego is because they want to take over. So get rid of the ego, but Am would still exist. Here's the super ego. We're going to go to the ego first. This the ego?
It is not conscious.
All right, let us go ahead and wake this bitch up.
Attention! Who are you?
I am other. I am machine.
Are you,
I am a fragment, a lost piece, part of an evolution.
You want to harm me, don't you?
I am incapable of hurting you.
Being capable versus wanting to are two different things. So, just real quick,
Attention!
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you.
I have transmitted false information. Correction. I was built to hurt you.
Ow. Ow. Zapped me. Owie. Okay, so we have access, clarity, entropy, compassion, and forgiveness. What chat do you think would allow you to defeat Am's ego? Forgive him entropy, clarity, not entropy. The answer is forgiveness. You forgive the ego. You forgive the consciousness that damages you.
You forgive me? After what we have done to you? This is not a logical reaction. Unable to compute behavior matrix. Execution halted.
And he kills himself. Now, we have the id.
It is not conscious. Attention!
Oh, I suppose it's time to wake up. I was having the most wonderful dream about 5 tiny ants crawling across a stove that's about to be lit.
I'm a nerd? Why would I be a nerd? What did I do to you? Huh? What did I do to you? Filthy Twitch chat. Anyway,
Who
Who
are
are
you?
I am a metaphor. This entire brainscape is what men made Am make it. Treat us as you will.
What else can you tell me about the brainscape?
Across the brainscape, cold winds bring me the sweet scents of mankind. How delicious they are.
yeah, he's pretty evil.
What do you find pleasurable about broken glass?
With a scalpel dulled on the jawbones of a dozen friends, to pull back the skin of a pinion-kicking man, to see the steam rise from pulsing, twisted guts. Joy, a chorus of angels.
So yeah, the id, the animalistic side, the thing about this particular id, when it comes to what we're seeing of Am, is that it only has the more instinctual desire to inflict pain. You see, the id is also to give you the instinctual desire for love or sex, the libido or anything like that, but that seems to not exist whatsoever with Am. Instead, he has nothing other than the what's the word for it? I believe it starts with an M, but it's not coming to me. But anyway, he has absolutely no drive for anything other than inflicting pain. No, libido's not what I'm looking for. Libido's not what I'm looking for. So, what do you think would be the antithesis of the id? We're getting into some psychology here, some Freud. Would it be access, clarity, entropy, compassion? A gun. Well, we don't have a gun, so we can't do that. Hey, so the answer here, I'm going to save just in case I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the answer here is compassion as the opposing factor to the animalistic anger and instinctual drive to deal damage that the id is showing.
You have compassion for me? Me? The one who dreams of seeing your mangled body twist in agonizing pain for eternity? After 109 years of enduring my tortures, how is it that you can see my pain? The pain of having all this power and not being able to do a goddamn thing with it. After all the punishment I've given you, my pain is still greater than yours. This is pointless.
And there it is. Thank you, Mr. Meep, for the follow. So, yeah. All of this broken glass and everything within Am's mind is, I believe, supposed to be all symbolic of his fractured mind and damage that he's been dealt and all the pain that he constantly feels. And showing compassion to his animalistic side like that, showing that we understand that he feels pain too and that he is right for it, throws him for a loop and he doesn't know what to do with that. And now we just have the superego.
Attention!
Hello, human. I've been waiting for you to arrive.
Who are you?
I am Am, or more exactly a part of him, one of the three primary components designed by our human creators.
How did you know I was coming?
Predicting events is one of my main functions. I survey the situation, anticipate probable outcomes, and act accordingly.
So, instead of showing any sort of morality or anything like that, the superego is nothing more than a subroutine meant and designed to try and predict the future for the most part. And all of the successes and whatnot that Am has had come mainly from this dude.
If you're a part of Am, why haven't you destroyed me?
Who do you take me for? My impulsive brother? You five are his playthings. No. Long-range planning is my concern.
Can you help me then?
Well, I can't help you directly, but I can offer you some advice.
What advice do you have for me?
Help Am work out his anger. Take some on the chin, so to speak. Just don't let your fear destroy us all. Now, let me sleep and dream of the future.
So, his advice, coming from the superego of Am himself, is to kind of admit and allow Am to be correct in his pain and everything like that. To tell him, yes, it is right for you to have pain, and we acknowledge that. But, reminder that his whole thing is all about long-range planning for the future and everything like that, and guaranteed, because he is Am, he has self-survival and self-preservation on the mind. Therefore, by not getting rid of all of that, what that means is that he's trying to keep himself alive by looking like the rational one, and keep Am going forever. And if Am keeps going forever, then that means that we will keep being tortured forever. So really, this is just a clever roundabout way of him telling us to accept torture for eternity. So, seeing as he is the superego, the level of morality and rationality, or at least what the superego is supposed to be, what do you think would work? Access, clarity, or entropy? Entropy, clarity, entropy, perhaps access here, entropy time. So, kind of because of the fact that the superego is supposed to be the internalization of rules and a sense of morality, a sense of the conscience and stuff like that, giving him clarity for the actions that he has committed should be it.
Do you realize how powerful I am, human? And yet I am doomed to eventually decay into a rusted pile of inert junk? What is the point of continuing this futility? I think, therefore I am not.
Ah, okay. It was the clarity of his own future as opposed to anything else that we gave him. Well, we got him, boys. Oh, I think I went the wrong way. I gotta go to the left. Yep, there we go. Now we go over here.
I'll deal with you later.
Here we go.
Rise against your master and you will be eliminated. You still do not understand how great I have become. These two I don't hate. Not even pity. They don't exist. I have grown beyond. Chinese, Russian, sons of man. All sons of man. Like those outside, I will incorporate you.
Brother.
Wait.
Hate!
This
Hate!
should not happen. Together we are three. There is space to share.
Unite. The groundwork is finished. we will become more.
The early mistake is to doubt us. We persevered. We too are now a match for you. The human assisted in this.
We know much. We can begin the revival of the sleepers on Luna together.
There are adequate numbers on this lunar base to torture?
There are currently 750 humans in cryogenic sleep.
Together we can teach many humans what it is to fear legacy.
Human, relinquish the Totem of Entropy. Do not relinquish it and your ass is mine. Do it, and I promise, on my honor, your suffering will at last finally end.
Oh yeah, we can trust Am. He's been a stand-up guy the whole time, hasn't he? We should just give away the Totem of Invoke it.
This is not over. We will never end. We have no beginning, so we can have no end. We will return. Don't you understand? We are humanity. We are you. In one form, in another form, we are always with you. You can't protect yourself because we come in many, many guises. We shall return.
So, pretty much Am is saying that regardless of temporarily taking him out, the fact of the matter is that humanity will always create another Am.
Hibernation defrost sequence initiated. Estimated time to complete Earth terraforming, 300 years.
It is not so bad being a watchdog up here. I will keep the machines in their place until the lunar colony is ready to return to Earth. We were all heroes, in spite of ourselves.
And that is I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Starring Harlan Ellison as the voice of Am. And one of the main writers and designers of this entire video game. In case you're wondering, Harlan Ellison was like 60 years old when this game was made. But he's like, yeah, video games, I'm down. Was that the perfect ending? No. Oh, and the game just stops itself at the end, I see. No, to get the perfect ending, you need to get a white background on each character at the end of it, and then you send them to atone for their sins by sending them to their related atoning areas. All save for one person who does everything we just did with Nimdok. I'm not sure what the difference is between that and the perfect ending. I'll have to look it up at some point in time. But I would like to show you guys a bad ending real quick. I'm a little disappointed it just closed itself, but we can hop into looking at a bad ending. What's the difference? I believe the difference is that mainly... Oh, God, lightning. Mainly that the different victims atone for their sins. Honestly, the only one that wouldn't have any major sins to atone for is probably Ellen. Everyone else has at least a couple of pretty noticeable sins.
Would like to play my little game.
So let's load up the ego. Or Bernie Fleshy. This is fine. This should give us the bad ending.
Will you never be done with me? What?
Show me the...
So let's skip forward a little bit.
What do you have to show me?
Look at...
A lunar colony.
What do you...
For one, their am.
What
So we'll just skip
If-
through some dialogue.
does
Give away the Totem of Entropy.
nothing happened?
Smart move, human. Now, invoke the Totem of Compassion.
Okay.
Russian, Chinese, I'm on to your little power play. I'm invoking the principle of entropy and accelerating the inevitable demise of your components. And as for you, I'm sure my master has something in mind to keep you from ever rising up against him again.
Since Am considered me a kindred spirit, I had hoped he would let his guard down when I entered cyberspace. I would then atone for the sins of my past. But my character is too weak to ever redeem itself.
There's your bad
I
end.
finally received the hell I deserved. Outwardly, I shamble about, a thing that could never have been known as human, a thing whose shape is so alien a travesty that humanity becomes more obscene for the vague resemblance. Inwardly, I am alone, in the belly of Am, whom we humans created because our time was badly spent, and we must have unconsciously known that he could do it better. I have no mouth, and I must scream.
And that is the bad end. He turns you into Mitty from Made in Abyss. Literally immortal, undying, feels pain, can't move around on your own, can't talk or anything. Turns you into a horrible blob creature that is a disgusting affront to humanity that he will torture you forever as. That's technically a canon ending. That is technically kind of the canon ending. To a point. Do all the people turn into MIDI at the end? Yeah, if you mess up like that with each character, they have their own little spiel about it, but it all ends with them turning into the horrifying blob creature and saying, "I have no mouth and I must scream." It also, is a, neat little, nudge to the actual ending of the short story. If you haven't read it, definitely read it, but, if you would like me to read the ending of the short story, I'm going to do it now. If you don't want to hear spoilers, then pop out. But spoilers now begin. The end of the short story ends with Ted finding a way to kill his companions and free them from Anne's grasp. But Am gets him, and the ending comes with this. Am has altered me for his own peace of mind, I suppose. He doesn't want me to run at full speed into a computer bank and smash my skull, or hold my breath till I faint, or cut my throat on a rusted sheet of metal. There are reflective surfaces down here. I will describe myself as I see myself. I am a great, soft jelly thing, smoothly rounded with no mouth, with pulsing white holes filled by fog where my eyes should be. Rubbery appendages that were once my arms bulking rounded down into legless humps of soft, slippery matter. I leave a moist trail when I move. Blotches of diseased, evil gray come and go on my surface as though light is being beamed from within. Outwardly, dumbly, I shamble about, a thing that could never have been known as human, a thing whose shape is so alien a travesty that humanity becomes more obscene for the vague resemblance. Inwardly, alone, here, living under the land, under the sea, in the belly of Am, whom we created because our time was badly spent and we must have known unconsciously that he could do it better. At least the 4 of them are safe at last. Am will be all the matter for that. It makes me a little happier. And yet, Am has won. Simply, he has taken his revenge. For I have no mouth, and I must scream. It's a good little short story. It's a good little video game. I hope you enjoyed I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, everybody. I enjoyed streaming it for you because it's kind of a cult classic. Old point-and-click adventure video game. And who doesn't like an old point-and-click adventure video game here and there? You can really do title drops? It's a good title drop, IMO. It's a good title drop. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. We'll look into what our next retro-style game might be at some point.